Hey everyone, it's Donnie Lowy at Closeoutexplosion.com. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Today I'd like to discuss with you an interesting topic, and that is buying wholesale dresses from China. Now, many of my customers ask me if I buy directly from China, and I don't. And I want to go through some reasons which I don't. Reason number one, people, when they see a very low price for dresses being sold from China, they forget a very important factor, and that is that they can't check the quality unless they've bought from that supplier before. Now, there can be really good suppliers in China, and they can make really good quality dresses, but unless you've dealt with them before, I would not recommend buying a large order. This way you can actually check the quality in person. Another very important factor to consider when buying dresses from China, and this is something that I've personally seen. I once dealt with a seller. He was a wholesaler located, I believe he was located in Florida, and he had bought dresses from China, and he sent me some samples. He wanted to see if I would be willing to buy those dresses, and when I got the samples, I saw something really interesting. Although the quality happened to be really nice, the style was nice, the colors were really nice, there was something off about the dresses. You know what it was? The dresses were really made for short people. They were almost like kid-sized dresses, but they were very wide, and they were wider than what most plus-sized women would wear over here in the United States. So what most likely happened, there was a factory in China that tried to make dresses for the American market. They didn't have experience in selling dresses to the American market, so they made dresses the same height, let's say, that the average woman might be in China, but they made them very wide, imagining that the women in the United States would need very big plus-size dresses. And as a result, I still looked at those samples. The dresses weren't good. I didn't buy them. And I hope the wholesaler was able to learn a good lesson for the future. So now, there is merchandise that you can buy from China, and that I even would recommend buying from China. If you're looking for, let's say, fashion items, you're looking for, I would say, more like a commodity type item might be good, where it doesn't need a brand name and the quality, is decent. Now, another thing to keep in mind when buying from China is that right now the United States and China are having a trade war, which means that both countries are putting tariffs on each other's goods. So if you are going to buy from China, you might consider doing it fast before the tariffs increase or before more tariffs are added. Or another approach might be to say, no, hold off until the trade war is over and the United States and China both take away the tariffs that they've imposed on each other's goods, and their goods will be more affordable. So there's definitely things to keep in mind. Now, if you are committed to buying dresses from China, there are websites like Alibaba, AliExpress, and so on, where you can get lists of suppliers. And I would recommend that you first of all look at their feedback, see who else has bought from them, and what other people have said about them. Also, get samples or start with a small order. And it's important to do that because when you get your merchandise, you might have to pay a customs fee when you receive the dresses. Like I said, I have not bought dresses directly from China, so I'm not familiar with if there are customs fees or what the customs fees are. I remember reading online that there are some fees, but it's something you need to do your research. You might want to deal with a customs broker, might make it easier for you. You might want to deal with a shipping company that can help you import goods from China. But definitely get samples, start with a small order, see what your actual fees are, see what your actual cost is after you factor in the shipping and after any customs fees, if there are any. And then, really importantly, you want to make sure that you're dealing with a supplier in China that has sold dresses or any product to the market that you're dealing in and the product that you're considering buying. If you're considering buying handbags from China, make sure that they have sold handbags to your market. If you're located in Trinidad, you want to deal with a Chinese wholesaler or Chinese manufacturer that has sold merchandise to the market in Trinidad. If you're in Nigeria, it's the same thing. You want to make sure that you're dealing with a supplier in China that has experience in selling dresses or the product that you're considering buying in Nigeria. And the same is true for every market. Now, once you have a good relationship with a supplier, then both of you will trust each other, and then, of course, you'll be more confident to buy bigger orders. The supplier might even give you credit at some point or work with you on another favorable basis. Now, that just reminded me of something very important. Whenever you're buying products from China, make sure that it's not a brand name, because if it's a brand name and they don't have permission to sell it to you, you're not going to be in a good situation. And if it is a brand name, make sure that they have, either they own the brand themselves, that it's their brand, or that you get permission, and get the permission directly from the brand showing that you can buy those brand name dresses from the factory or from the supplier in China. Now, another thing you might want to consider is buying fashion dresses from a dress supplier in China, and just make sure that it's a generic style or that they own the style. This way you don't have to be concerned about any trademark infringement issues or copyright issues, right? If the factory in China or the company in China owns that design and it is their design, then of course that trademark or copyright would belong to them, as it might be, right? Whether it's a copyright or a trademark on the dress. And if it's a very generic looking dress, then of course you have less of a concern of it being someone else's dress or someone else's copyright because it's a generic dress. All right, but you definitely need to consult with a lawyer for any legal issues. All right, now the advantage, of course, because I always want to say something positive about buying from China, is that you can get a very low price as compared to getting a dress manufactured, whether in the United States or in Europe or in Turkey, right? China does have very low prices, but keep in mind that sometimes those prices reflect the quality, or I should say very often they reflect the quality. Now, another important thing to know is that China makes different quality dresses for different countries. That's what I've seen. That's what some of my customers have told me, right? So a dress that was intended for the United States is generally a better quality than a dress that was intended for South Africa, right? Customers have shown me pictures of dresses, so I've seen this. I could tell the difference by looking at the picture, and the customers have told me this themselves. So what I would recommend is if you are going to buy merchandise from China, whether it's dresses or another product, make sure that those products are being made for a country that demands a very high quality product. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. I would love to hear your feedback as well. I'd love to hear your experiences if you have imported from China. Thank you so much for watching this. The next time you're in New York, make sure to visit my warehouse. I have dresses, fashion jewelry, baby clothing, men's clothing, women's clothing, and so on. Thank you so much and have a very great day.